This is the Richard Smith Show, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs. How are we doing, Chiefs Kingdom? Oh my gosh, do we have some things to talk about today. It was an exciting thriller that came down to the last minute. Patrick Mahomes lit up the scoreboard and the history books today in an epic victory at Heinz Field over the Pittsburgh Steelers, 42-37. It was a great game. Everything was going our way. It was a barn burner, which we expected it to be. And we also understand that Pittsburgh Steelers are no slumps. So this wasn't an easy game for the Kansas City Chiefs, especially given the history of the last 5 years between the two teams. We seem to be coming up on the short end of that stick. But that changed today with the 42-37 victory. Mahomes looked flawless, going 23 for 28 with 6 touchdowns to 5 different receivers and no interceptions. He's spreading the ball around like crazy, making perfect throws. He played like a legend in his prime. It is just phenomenal, Kansas City, entering the record books for passing TDs in the first 2 games of the season. 10 touchdowns in the first 2 games of the season. That is just absolutely amazing. And today we had 2 touchdown passes to Kelsey, 1 to Hill, 1 to Robinson, 1 to Conley, and 1 to Hunt. It is looking good in Kansas City and our future at quarterback. The notable history book today, what happened with the record-breaking game for Mahomes? Mahomes has thrown 10 touchdowns in the first 2 games of the season, which has never been done. Drew Brees and Peyton Manning both threw 9 touchdowns through the first 2 games of a season, but it has never been 10 until today, and our very own Patrick Mahomes set that record. To be mentioned with those 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks at this point in his career is an absolute honor, but it also tells you what we have to look forward to, Chiefs Kingdom. This is a humongous deal. This might be the biggest deal in the history of the NFL and Patrick Mahomes. He obviously, hands down, is off to the hottest start of any quarterback ever, and don't take that lightly. Off to the hottest start of any quarterback ever. And as a member of the Kansas City community and lifelong Chiefs fan, we've been waiting on Mahomes, or for a Mahomes, since Lenny Dawson. I mean, we're talking years and years and years. That was before I was even born. So it's nice to finally have a real franchise, possibly the best quarterback of all time on the Kansas City Chiefs. Now we are on the eve of a dynasty. And I know that, look, that's amazing, and it's hard for us to wrap our minds around that we are potentially on the verge of a dynasty, on the eve of a dynasty. But the next 10 to 15 years in Kansas City is going to be absolutely amazing, and I know all of you look forward to it just as much as I do. Mahomes made every throw today on the money, 0 mistakes, recognizing different defensive packages, spreading the ball around, all around dominance. And did I mention he threw 6 touchdowns and had a passer rating of 154.8? Yeah, just a little stat there for you. You're going to hear the 6 touchdowns for a while now, and it's going to keep getting better week to week to week. And, I might go ahead and add this here. I don't see it not happening. AFC Player of the Week, 2 weeks in a row. Is that a possibility for Mahomes? I almost think it's a lock-in for Mahomes. So I look for him to be the AFC Player of the Week 2 weeks in a row. So we are going to go ahead and play the Mahomes post-game press conference, and we'll see what he has to say about his performance today.
They can't stop everybody. So for me, it's just about getting it to the guy that has the man-to-man coverage or has the open area. And so those guys were getting open today. The offensive line was blocking great, so it was making my job a lot easier.
Well, my audio seems to have gone out. I apologize for that. Let's see if we can't pick it up again here. Nope, I don't know what the deal is, but that's okay. Basically, in this press conference, he, was talking about the productive ability of our offensive line to protect him and give him time to get receivers open downfield. Obviously, he didn't expect a 6-touchdown, passing game today. He probably expected a 7 or 8 touchdown game with the way he thinks and how much confidence he has in his ability. So again, I apologize that post-game press conference did not come through. We will have that from time to time. But, another thing that I want to elaborate on, and this is something that he had touched base on, so did Andy Reid. The Steelers and the Chargers are great teams, and Mahomes made them look elementary. Like it was nothing to him, like he'd done it 500 times before, and it's just magical to watch this kid go out and play ball. He's putting the ball in there perfect. I've never seen anybody like him in my entire life. He is absolutely amazing, and I am extremely grateful that he is Kansas City Chiefs starting quarterback. With all of that being said, am I the only one having a hard time wrapping my mind around him being the quarterback for our Kansas City Chiefs? I mean, we finally have him. I mean, he's ours. How do we let that sink in? I can't even say that's like a Peyton Manning coming into the league or a Brett Favre. This is something way, way, way greater. He is on a whole nother level than anybody else ever in the NFL, and he plays for the Kansas City Chiefs. So there is one negative thing to take away from this game, and I believe that is we really need to work on reducing penalties immediately. That was just ridiculous today. I mean, 15 or more penalties for over 100 yards, that's unacceptable. Lining up in the neutral zone, offsides, holding, false start. I mean, just all over the board, we really, really, really need to discipline ourselves a little bit more and reduce those penalties because we don't want a penalty to be the determining factor in a game. And, this game came down to the last minute. Big Ben was playing really, really well. We had the fumble when we were driving in the fourth quarter that gave the Steelers the ball back, and they scored again, and we're ready to go downfield again, and luckily we got the ball back and we ran the clock out, got the first down, and did what we needed to lock in that win. But I believe that without all these penalties, it wouldn't have even been that close of a game. And really, Ben, he threw for 3 touchdowns and 452 yards and no interceptions. Roethlisberger had a great game today against the Chiefs. They really did play lights out. And against any other team in the league, that would have been a victory for the Steelers this afternoon. And that I promise you. They're still a dynamic offense. They still have big play capabilities. We don't need to downplay what's going on with the Steelers as far as talent and, the level of talent that they have kept over the years. So they're still a contender. They just don't look like much of a team against the Chiefs, which is, that's really nice. That's nice that we can finally say that. I have confidence that we can beat any team in the league every week. If any team's going to go undefeated, it'd be a team like the Kansas City Chiefs this year and, the next 5 to 10 years. One stat that I really enjoyed seeing is how Kansas City stopped the run game of Pittsburgh. Now, I do understand that Ben threw 60 pass attempts today, which is absolutely an astronomical number of passing attempts. But that's where Mike Tomlin felt the most comfortable and felt that they could possibly get a victory against the Chiefs, is to try to spread us out and put the ball in Big Ben's hands. But the Chiefs still stopped the Pittsburgh rushing game We held them to 33 yards, and that was 33 yards with running back by committee by 3 different running backs. So we did a great job today, stopping the run. Hitchens played like an animal. I know that you all saw the impact that Hitchens has. And look, that man is coming to take your head off. He's one of those players that when he hits you, he wants you to know that he's there. So it's really nice that we have, an anchor in the middle who really, really goes after the ball. And he showed it today, stopping the run, plugging the holes up the middle, shooting gaps. Our defense was all over the field. Yes, we got burnt, but that's the Pittsburgh Steelers offense for you. That doesn't really say anything about our defense. It's hard to stop the Steelers no matter who you are. So there's a lot of great things to take away from this victory today and keep the momentum rolling as we head into the home opener Sunday, September 23rd, versus the 49ers at noon. So, again, all around great game today. Cut back on the penalties. Keep Mahomes on fire. 6 touchdowns to 5 different receivers. It was just an amazing, amazing day. And it was really nice to see us jump out to a 21-0 lead, but we've seen that before. And it was a little scary watching them come back. But with all that in mind, our defense played, pretty well the first quarter and a half of the game. But it was hot down there, and there comes a point in time where you can only hold the momentum of Ben Roethlisberger or the Pittsburgh Steelers, especially with all their dynamic players, for so long. And it was kind of a statement game for Roethlisberger, but it was also the most important game of Mahomes' career up to this point, which hasn't been very lengthy, but I think all of you agree with me that the Pittsburgh Steelers win. Your very first start against them is quite an accomplishment, given the history that we have with them recently. So, again, this Sunday, home opener, Chiefs 49ers. I look forward to seeing all of you there. I know that I'll be there. I cannot wait. This is going to be a great, great game. And I think we're going to blow the doors off the 49ers. I really, really look forward to that. But let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. It is still Sunday, and we are still celebrating this victory. 42-37 over the Pittsburgh Steelers, with Patrick Mahomes throwing 6 touchdowns today. 6 touchdowns. So, Kansas City, I hope you have a great week. It'll be easy to sleep this week with such a great victory underneath our belts, and let's keep the momentum forward, and let's take that into week 3 and another Kansas City Chiefs victory. This is the Richard Smith Show, where we talk about all things Kansas City Chiefs.